Hey guys, so today what I want to talk about is towing and hauling, but mostly towing if you're looking at buying or leasing a Jeep Gladiator. Now, this really applies to any truck, especially the half-ton and even more so the mid-size trucks suffer from this, the most. But since I'm doing Jeep Gladiator stuff, we're going to use it as an example today. So if you're looking at a Jeep Gladiator pickup and you're thinking, well, I'm going to use it to tow 5, 6, 7,000 pounds, whether it be a large boat or a camper or whatever, then pay attention to this because I want to explain something to you that a lot of people don't realize, okay? So if you look at the truck, they're advertising these big towing numbers, right? 7,000 pounds for like a Rubicon, 7,650 pounds for a Sport with a max tow package. And that's all fine and good, but what they're not telling you is that's only a small part of the equation. It's not like you can just hook onto a trailer that weighs that much no matter what you're doing with the truck itself. There's a lot you have to think about and take into consideration. So here's my advice. If you're looking at one of these trucks, there are a lot of numbers you have to think about, like gross combined weight rating, which is the total weight of the truck and the trailer, the gross vehicle weight rating, which is how much weight you can apply to the truck. That includes the driver, passengers, the cargo in the truck, the cargo in the bed of the truck, the tongue weight that the trailer applies to the truck. Any weight that is applied to the truck is considered something that subtracts from your gross vehicle weight rating. There's a lot of different things like axle weights, gross trailer weights. There's a lot of numbers in the guide that you have to study and get to know. But the main thing, if you're new to trucks and you're shopping these things, the main thing you want to pay attention to is the payload number. And you can find that on the door jamb sticker. If you open the driver's side door, there's a sticker in there that'll tell you the maximum weight or payload that truck can handle. Now, the reason you want to pay attention to that is because that number will dictate how much of a trailer you can hook onto, okay? Let me give you an example. I'm going to use a Gladiator Rubicon as an example. So most of the Rubicon models that I've seen have a towing capacity of 7,000 pounds, but the payload capacity is only around 1,100 pounds. Now that number varies slightly depending on the options on your truck, but generally it's around 1,100 pounds payload for a Rubicon, right? So like in my situation, my family of 5 combined, we weigh about 800 pounds combined. But most people probably have, let's say, a family of 4, let's say man, woman, 2 kids. So let's say your family goes 700 pounds total. So you got a couple of teenagers you take with you, whatever. Your family weighs 700 pounds. Let's just use that for a number, right? So if your truck has 1,100 pounds of payload, as soon as your family gets into the truck, that's 700 pounds of it right there. So that only leaves you with what, 400 pounds, right? And then let's say you take some camping gear with you, a cooler, tents, I don't know, whatever, camp stoves. Let's say, being conservative, let's say you put 100 pounds of camping gear in the bed of the truck. So now you've only got 300 pounds of payload left, right? So what that means is if you pull a trailer, a camper or a boat or whatever, and you've only got 300 pounds of payload that you can apply to the truck remaining, okay, then that trailer is probably going to be capped at like 3,000 pounds because most trailers are set up to put 10% of their tongue weight or 10% of their total weight on the tongue. So if you've only got 300 pounds of payload remaining after you put your family and your gear in the truck, then that's going to cap your trailer at like 3,000, 3,500 pounds maybe. You're not going to be able to get anywhere near that 7,000 pound number. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is there's a lot of math involved here and a lot of things you have to consider. You can't just put a large family in the truck, load it up, and still pull 7,000 pounds. It doesn't work that way. So you have to consider all of this, do the math, do the homework, look at what it is you're buying. And that's one of the reasons I said that I feel like personally that the sport model with the max tow package is the way to go because you're still getting the wide track Dana 44s with the 410 gears. Obviously you don't get the lockers that come with the Rubicon, but you could add lockers if you really needed to. But what that model gives you is a 1,600 pound payload, or in my case, it'll be 1,535 pounds, I think, because of the options on my truck. But anyway, you get 400 or 500 pounds more payload, which really opens up the door for a larger trailer to be pulled with your family in the truck also. I mean, it just really opens up a lot more possibilities. The Rubicon model and the Overland model especially are really limited to what you can do, because you can max out that payload number really easily. So I just wanted to explain that to you. When you go into the dealership, a lot of the times the salesmen don't really understand all those numbers and things. You know, if they're not truck guys, they probably don't know all that. And like I said, Jeep has done a terrible job of publishing any information for us. I haven't seen any published materials at all that talk about things like gross vehicle weight rating, gross axle weight ratings, gross combined weight ratings for the Gladiator models, each model. I haven't seen anything like that published. I couldn't even find it online. So Jeep, if you're listening, you need to get with the program and help us out. But do your homework and pay attention to that, because I don't want to see anybody get hurt, obviously, but I also don't want to see all of these crashes on social media and have the Jeep Gladiator get a bad name that it doesn't deserve just because people are doing things with the truck it wasn't designed to do, you know? And again, this applies to the Ranger, the Colorado, the Tacoma, all those trucks as well. I saw a Tacoma that had a 998 pound payload, which is just miserable. You can't, if you put a family of 5 in that truck, then that's pretty much it. I guess you could load groceries into it then. But so just do your homework, guys. Pay attention to what it is you're buying, and then everything will be gravy after that. You'll enjoy your truck and have an awesome summer. So my Gladiator, found out yesterday, is in KZ status, which means that it went down the assembly line, it was built, it was inspected, and it's ready to leave the factory now, which was a big surprise to me, because it's only been 3 weeks. So if that's the case, and that was pretty fast, and I guess it'll be showing up here pretty soon. So we'll have some more videos coming, but I just wanted to point that out today. I think that's something that everybody who's getting into these trucks needs to know. So this cat's messing with me again. Every time I come out here, this cat just wants to be in my lap. All right, guys, you have a great day. See you later.